Every car's got a story, and this has a great story. Great customer. Him and his wife come in. He wants to get this car here to be modern as you possibly can. Now, he likes the original look. That's why I call it kind of a restomod. The car looks original. The white wall tires, a nice black paint, the chrome. This looks like the real deal going down the road. But they originally came with a flathead motor. The flathead motor had roughly about 120, maybe 130 horsepower at the most with an automatic. We got some pictures here showing you the motor that came out of the car with this big, huge, heavy automatic transmission. We converted this car here all the way around with a Ford 302 motor, new carburetor, intake manifold, rebuilt stuff all over this car, and steering, power brakes, disc brakes, the list goes on. I got to show it to you. Now, again, I was telling you earlier, some stuff years ago was not available for Fords like they are for Chevrolet and some of the models of cars. So when you're doing a car out there, the technology today makes it a little easier for us for some stuff. Some other stuff is a little on the edge, which I'll point some of that stuff here out. But when we go ahead and build a car like this, we have to go ahead and have a radiator that's going to cool this motor. Fortunately, Jay had a really good radiator all redone, and we were able to incorporate the radiator in the process of doing this job. But again, we didn't have any room for a fan. So we put a nice heavy-duty electric fan in the front of the radiator, and this right here is the condenser. Now again, talking about a condenser in a 54 Ford, we put in air conditioning. Now the trick to the air conditioning we did vintage air, which we'll show you inside the car. We used the original air compressor that was on a Mercury Marquis, and we actually incorporated the lines. Nowadays, when I meant about the technology of parts and things available to us, we were able to custom make the lines from the Ford air conditioning compressor all the way into the car to go into the evaporator and make this car here get nice and cold, and it makes it a beautiful driver. Jay's wife's going to be real happy with him that he's got air conditioning in the car. We got high energy ignition, electronic ignition, polished intake manifold, Elderbrock carburetor, which I call the old Carter AFBs, and the big carburetor down there for a 4-barrel. So he's got the carburetor sound, got the carburetor feel, and he still's got the old school stuff. Yes, we put on disc brakes. So we have the power booster right here, which as you can tell, it's a small dome and has a long, this is a GM master cylinder. It's a dual feed. Of course, a proportioning valve and our light switch here is on the bottom of it. So we ran all brand new brake lines. We ran all new gas lines for all the brake system throughout the car. So it makes it a really, really nice driver. I always like to show anybody that comes to the shop some of the new things that we inquire, coming into car collecting. And there's a car that we just picked up, a good buddy of mine. We kind of share some of our cars we go ahead and do. We find something unusual, find something that we like. But we got a 1939, we'll say a 39, 40, because the bodies were the same when they were going out of business. And it's a Hupmobile. This happens to be registered as a 1941. It was one of the last bodies of the Skylarks to really come off the assembly line before the factory really went under. Hup kind of merged with other companies at this time, Graham Page. Of course, you can tell by the looks of the back window, like a Cord and whatnot. So they're buying parts from really about everywhere to put a whole complete car together. And picking this up for my collection, I think, is really kind of cool because it's unusual. It's a little 4-door car. They're just, now they kind of might be rare, but they're not really rare with the checkbook. They pull pretty decent money, of course, but not like some other breeds and makes and models of cars. We went ahead and recolored the car. We went ahead and clear coated it. We let the car sit for a while, and we added more clear. This car has good amount of clear for it because we're going to be taking a lot off. And I'll show you why. When we go ahead and sand this car, we've sanded this car here about this on the 3rd time. We sand it down with an ultra-fine 2000 grit sandpaper. And you can actually see the texture in this. Now, I don't know if you can see during the filming, when Estelle's filming the show here, you can actually see the color of my shirt in the black paint. The depth in here is fantastic. Now, we did this on purpose just to show you guys on the show, is the door. This door and this are the very same thing. This just shows you, and this is just so smooth, just to show you the texture and how it looks before it goes through the 3 stages of polish. Now, that's mostly the show way or the high-quality way of doing it. You got stage 1, you got stage 2, and, of course, stage 3 is the very, very, very fine polish. And this right here is only done in stage 1, just to give you a little bit of a hint. So there's going to be a little bit more depth. So we went ahead and set this up for you to show you this is what it looks before you do the first stage of polishing. This will be our final polishing on it. But before stage 1 goes on it, this is all color sanded, and that car is straight as an arrow. It's beautiful, just beautiful. This rear is how it looks. Looks a bit, of course, like a flatty color, but it's not. It's already cleared. And this right here, We did this. We're ready to do this here next, and we're going to show you the other side of the car. I'll let you check it out.